Okay, let's dive right into today's explainer. We're going to be exploring an absolutely incredible concept straight out of the ancient Mahabharata. Imagine a literal, physical journey designed specifically to cure a king's deeply troubled mind. That's exactly what we're looking at here, a fascinating, thousands of years old geographic prescription for mental health.
Thou wilt be freed from anxiety. Now that striking promise is our ultimate goal today. It's an ironclad guarantee given by the sage Dhaumya to an incredibly distressed King Yudhishthira. But here's the catch. The sage doesn't just offer some vague philosophical comfort. No, instead, he maps out a highly specific series of sacred northern sites for the king to travel to.
So that brings us to a really fascinating question. How exactly did the ancients go about curing the anxieties of a king? Well, it all comes down to this brilliantly designed geographic itinerary. It's a route meant to literally elevate the human mind, taking it from everyday earthly burdens all the way up to a state of absolute cosmic peace. Here's our pilgrimage route for today's explainer. We'll start with the foundational rivers of high merit, journey through sites of epic sacrifice, climb the peaks of asceticism, arrive at Vadari, the home of Narayana, and finally uncover the ultimate promise of freedom from anxiety.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Rivers of High Merit, which serves as our foundation.
Notice the immediate sensory contrast right off the bat. Dhaumya first directs the king to the Saraswati River, describing its banks as easy of descent and highly sacred. It's a very gentle, inviting image, right? But then, right next to it, he places the Yamuna River, which he calls ocean-going and impetuous. It's like this itinerary purposefully embraces both the tranquil and the wildly powerful forces of nature to jumpstart that mental clarity.
Now you have to remember, these aren't just scenic bodies of water. They're essentially massive accumulators of merit. Take the sacred crossing called Shavatarana, for instance. This is specifically where highly initiated spiritual seekers would bathe after successfully completing the rigorous Saraswati sacrifice. So the idea is that the water itself holds the residual power of those ancient completed rituals.
Just think about the sheer scale of devotion embedded in these regions. Take the number 35. It was right here that the illustrious imperial king Bharata performed exactly 35 horse sacrifices. That's massive. By walking these riverbanks, a pilgrim is quite literally walking in the footsteps of ancient emperors, absorbing all that immense spiritual gravity from their actions.
Moving right along to Section 2, Sites of Epic Sacrifice, featuring kings and rishis.
You see, these geographic locations are forever tied to the individuals who sacrificed there. Down at the celestial crossing of Agnisaras, King Sahadeva celebrated a massive sacrifice. Over on the Yamuna, he gifted 100,000 to the Brahmanas. And at Palasaka, the merit is so incredibly concentrated there that all the principal rivers supposedly took on embodied forms just to surround the Rishi Jamadagni, literally bringing him offerings of honey. The landscape itself is just alive with the memory of these epic events.
We also come across deeply reverent spaces like the celebrated asylum of Sarabunga. In days of yore, Sarabunga used to fully gratify the desires of spiritual seekers right in that very spot. Along with the highly productive river Drisidwati, these locations are prescribed for the king because they are just absolutely saturated with a history of profound fulfillment.
All right, let's head into Section 3, the peaks of asceticism, where we start moving upward.
Our physical elevation now starts to directly mirror a spiritual elevation. These towering peaks are sites of extreme, intense spiritual discipline. Take Visakayupa, for example. It's so sacred that gods like Indra and Varuna actually practiced severe austerities there. Then you've got Gangadwara, this incredibly dramatic spot where the river Ganga violently cleaves the mountains. We also see Mount Poru and Brigutunga, which were made famous by intense ascetic practices. The air up here is thin, and the spiritual focus is absolutely razor-sharp.
There are also areas like Kanakala, which the sage Sanakumara regards as profoundly sacred for one simple reason: enlightened minds frequented it. Think about that for a second. Just breathing the air in the space where these enlightened beings once operated is prescribed as a powerful remedy for the king's anxiety. It's like catching the residual energy of pure peace.
Which brings us to Section 4, Vadari, the home of Narayana.
The descriptions of Vadari are just incredibly beautiful, painting a picture of impossible wonders. Near Vadari, the cool current of the river Ganga was formerly warm, and the banks were miraculously overspread with golden sands.
We've officially entered a realm where the normal rules of nature begin to bend, giving way completely to the divine.
As we go deeper, Vadari is revealed to be not just a physical location, but the home of the divine lord Narayana. He is explicitly described as the embodiment of the present, the past, and the future. So the anxious king is being directed to a place that represents the absolute totality of time itself. Talk about putting your temporary earthly worries into a massive cosmic perspective, right?
And the attributes here just keep layering on top of one another. The idea is that the entire universe, with all its holy spots, exists right where Narayana dwells. The text makes this bold claim. He is merit. He is the supreme Brahma. He is tirtha. At this point, the destination is no longer just a physical river or a mountain crossing. The destination has become the very concept of merit itself.
This really reveals that the ultimate destination of this pilgrimage is actually the highest state of blessedness found in the Supreme Soul. He is the eternal creator and the slayer of the demon Madhu. What started as a physical journey walking up a mountain has seamlessly transformed into a state of pure, boundless spiritual realization.
And finally, Section 5, freedom from anxiety, which is the ultimate promise.
Dhaumya validates the immense power of this journey by noting that these sites are universally recognized even by celestial beings. We're talking the Vasus, the Sadyas, the Adityas, the Marutas, and the Ashwins. By making this journey, Dhaumya essentially promises the king that the sheer weight of this acquired merit, combined with the physical effort and the spiritual elevation, will completely wash away his earthly burdens.
The Mahabharata offers us this incredibly structured upward journey, moving from rushing rivers to the very center of time itself, all as a targeted cure for a troubled mind. As we reflect on this ancient prescription for mental relief, it leaves us with a pretty compelling thought. When the weight of the world causes us anxiety today, what structured journeys, whether physical or mental, do we map out to find our own sense of peace?